welcome to the second episode of the Livewire podcast. Last time there was 3 of us, but this time we have got a new guest who is my partner.
Hello.
Kim Bamford. Who is 6 months pregnant with our baby girl. It's on the way. That we're going to call Faith.
You want to call Faith?
I'm going to call Faith, but the jury's not quite concluded on that one. So yeah, you couldn't make it last time, but you're here this time, and we are aiming to have it as a 4 on the podcast, which is Super Sam.
Super Sam.
What can we call you? Curly Carrie.
King Kez.
King Kez. There you go. Awesome Andy. What are we going to give you?
ADHD Andy.
Yeah, ADHD Andy. That'll do me. What are we?
Double Trouble Kim? I don't know.
No, it's not starting again with a K.
It's going to be a K.
Kinky.
Kinky Kim. They are the names for the podcast forever.
Yeah.
It's done. Yeah, right. Okay. And since good work, Sam. Good work. And since our last podcast, which I think is 2 months, we've had a bit of a 2-month gap on it. So, which logistically we couldn't all get together. And we now have. And in that time, Kerry has gone from the gaming industry, which I wouldn't mind touching upon a little bit because you guys are both from the gaming industry and recruitment.
Yeah.
To now a full-time employee of Paws In Nature, which is
Big shift.
My dog, massive shift, which is my dog behaviour and training business that Kim is also involved in and does training with the dogs. And Sam is also a bit invested in helping us with all the techie background stuff.
Where I can.
Yeah. For instance, our website's gone down today and we don't know why it's gone down. So
Like, Sam, what are we doing?
yeah,
It's like,
Sam,
I'll sort it.
Sam.
It's back end problems, isn't it?
Yeah. So I want to hand it over to Kerry and just say what was your time like in recruitment for the gaming industry, and what's the transition been like, and how are you finding it at Paws In Nature? Please say nice things.
So, I've been human trafficked.
It's Paws In Nature.
No, it's been brilliant. Obviously recruitment is high stress, high pressure. It never stops. You never get a break. Your clients don't lick your face like they do at Paws In Nature.
The dogs.
Not the people, the dogs.
Some of the people do.
They're the weird clients we have. Though.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. It's been brilliant. It's nice being outside. I love being outside. I love working with dogs. Who doesn't? Unless you hate them, then that's your problem. But
I think that's your biggest transition, isn't it? Is you spent so much time inside.
yeah, well,
It's huge.
I literally didn't go outside for a month. He had to drag me out to go to the shop.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
So
Was she screaming and you were dragging her out?
I just really didn't want to go outside.
Yeah, just half asleep.
Yeah, I just it wasn't giving me a lot of happiness and satisfaction. I didn't feel fulfilled in what I was doing. Because you just had to keep going to the next thing. It never stopped. And it wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. I spent a good 3 years there. I had great people around me, but it was just too much for me. I'm not someone who can deal with that kind of stress. But the people are what made the job. But now I'm joining you guys. Having this opportunity, considering I was a client first with my own, obviously my maniac dog, and joining and just starting. The sun, I'm tanned. I'm not as pale anymore. I can hold a leash.
Do you know, that's the maddest thing, actually, since you've started. I don't think we've had one day of rain.
No.
So
It's the wearable microclimate, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll blame Kerry.
no, I bring
You
the
brought
sun.
sunshine, yeah?
Yeah.
You brought sunshine,
Bring
legit.
sunshine.
I was literally about to do exactly the same.
Should we just sing for the rest of the podcast?
I think this is a karaoke podcast from now on.
Like a Chinese karaoke one. But something that we've definitely noticed this week, which is always very hard. This is a compliment coming, by the way, Kerry. Something that's very hard because I've been fortunate having Kim at my side for the time that, God, she's been in Paws In
Kim is
Nature
a
for 8
boss.
years. And she's just very skilled and very good at adapting to, like, you know, different situations and how to handle dogs and stuff. So I've been fortunate. It's been very hard in the time we've been open to find people who've got like that almost like ability to take to the skill really quickly. And definitely this week, you've felt it because I've been shouting over going, well done, great time, and you've done this right, you've done that right. And it's something that's hard to train people at, is to get it. And I try and be as micro as I can when I'm giving you the information. Like, make sure your hand's holding it this way, hold the long line this way, feed it to your left hand. Loads of little bits of information that I'm giving, and you're just like a sponge, which is great, and you're just absorbing everything I'm telling you, and you're just putting it into practice. And this week we've definitely seen some beautiful work from you, so you know you're fitting into it really well, so well done.
Yeah, smashing it.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it a lot. Like, it's just nice. It just doesn't feel like a job. It just feels like
I know, it's a mad feeling. It's like you get to just
I
work
can feel
and
like
play
I'm
with
just,
dogs all day.
yeah, hanging out with my mates all the time.
And get to make people feel better.
Get
about
Marcus
their relationship
Spencer's
with their
meal.
dog. You're actually a real life superhero.
Well, it's like
Dog owners.
low key superhero. It is.
No, it is amazing. It's like that's fulfilling. Just seeing how happy people are and how amazed they are when you just like do something different with their dog. Like you sell it immediately when you come in the house, you sort the dog out, and they're like, "How did you do that? Like, we've been trying to do this for ages." I'm like, even I just look at him like, how do you? Yeah, just like what's it called? Pilot. I'm walking in with Pilot, which is this beautiful Bernedoodle. He is gorgeous, but he is.
It's a Bernese mountain dog crossed with a giant with a poodle.
With them.
I know, and they're both the same. They're both like doing the exact same behaviours and not from the same breeder either.
They are chaotic. They are chaotic energy. They've got such a big head.
Yeah.
So gorgeous. We're gonna have to put a photo of.
I thought you guys would have to go, and I was like, you're not going.
No, never, never. Huge.
They're big.
Like mountain dog size.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a big Labradoodle, but it's like black and white.
But like with a massive head.
Yeah.
Like
they're beautiful dogs. Yeah. And they're very nice. They like, if you just want to have like, you know, pure cuddles and pure arousal with your dog, that is definitely the dogs to be going for, because they're just like, they're crazy. They're absolutely crazy. But
if ADHD was a dog, I'd probably.
Yeah, that's Andy as a dog.
Yeah,
big head.
Let's take the Jack Russell away from me.
No, you're always going to be a Jack Russell.
Let's do it now. So everybody thinks if I was a dog, I'd be a Jack Russell, which conveniently I started out with 3 Jack Russells. I loved them. And
No, that little small, stocky Jack Russell.
I was gonna say like the Griffin Pointer.
What the fuck are you? What have you just done to me?
I think Sam would be a poodle.
Wait,
Do you think so?
I don't know enough about dog personality traits to have.
no, it's like the
I'm just
look.
talking pure look wise.
Look, I need to get the Griffin. Have you not seen it? You know.
I know what a Griffin is. Yeah,
No, not
one called Gucci.
No, not a Griffin. Like Griffin Pointer.
Griffin Pointer.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like.
Oh, yeah. No,
Because he's got
that's
the beard.
Yeah, that's a
ginger beard.
German Wirehair Pointer.
No, it's a Griffin Pointer.
Griffin Pointer. It
Yeah.
looks like a German Wirehair.
It's a wide-haired pointing Griffin.
Right. Okay.
It's too tall.
Okay.
I think I'd.
Come on, let's do it. I'm gonna be a Jack Russell.
I'd be like a pug or something.
No, you wouldn't. What did we call you the other day?
Sausage dog.
You need to be something that's like clever, but like low drive.
What do you mean low drive?
No. Do you know what you'd be? You'd be a. I'm gonna take the low drive away and give you the high drive
It's
dog.
not low drive.
I think she'd be because when you get going, you're like you're a grafter. When you get going, so no, actually.
Bridge back.
But you're not a high energy person. You're not like you're not like can't sit still. You can sit still for a long time.
Definitely. Carrie would be a spaniel.
Yeah. Everyone says that.
Like lady.
Like lady, an American cocker.
Yeah, American cocker.
Yeah.
I told you.
There you go.
I had a client called Julie Ryden, and she had an American cocker. I think it was called Lady as well. Basically, her son was scared of dogs, but he loved Disney, so she got a lady and she got a jock from Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, they were gorgeous.
And they were just amazing dogs.
A jock.
A jock is just Jock is the little Scotty in it that goes, "Oh, you're
yeah.
abandoning your car."
That was my favourite one on the film.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
Yeah,
Sam would
so
be
good.
like a border doodle.
I was gonna say like retriever.
No, because he's like there's not there's no aggression in him. He's like really like
There's no aggression.
he's not there's no.
No,
It's,
I know, but it's just funny.
I
'cause,
love
like,
it.
we're
I
talking about
love
him,
his
like,
personality.
yeah,
It's not.
That sounds
I
like
think you're talking
golden
about-
retriever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can be resource guarders.
Well, he resource guards
I'm
is
up
there.
with territory.
Yeah, yeah, he does do that. Yeah.
Sit home.
No, it needs to be clever because he's a bloody clever lad,
That's why I
isn't he?
said a border doodle.
Yeah, but they can be little shit. Border Doodle.
I can be a little shit sometimes.
Well, if we give you Border Doodle, we're giving you Fido, and he's one of the most phenomenal dogs ever. So
Yeah,
He's the
there we
best dog in the world.
He's a little bit chunky.
go. Yeah.
But to live.
Yeah, he's got loads. He's just so different from last time I saw him. He's got so much more hair now.
Well, he's been clipped now, so now when you see him, you'll be like, oh my god, Fido, you're so
Oh my
skinny.
god, you've lost all your weight.
You've been on a Zempic.
Have you seen those TV ads?
Yeah. So what's been your most interesting case since you've started, do you think, Cammy?
100% Major, the Belgian Malinois. I
Okay.
didn't get to see him well, there's been quite a few, but he's just the most interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause I've never seen a Belgian Malinois for one, and they're just so impressive. I know it's just like stereotypical because like everyone talks about Belgian Malinois, but because of what he went through and just like the reversal of everything.
They're a different level, aren't they?
Yeah, but you said like the first time he ever came, he was like bolting through like the other side of the menage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I had context to Major. He basically had some e-collar training, which we're actually going to cover e-collars in this podcast. It's a subject that we're going to jump onto.
Might have one.
Yeah, but so Major had some e-collar training, which a lot of mals do, especially doing protection sports. He'd done a bit of protection sports, so he'd done a bit of where they will bite somebody in a suit. They get trained first on like I think toys and balls, and then onto a sleeve, and then you move on to a suit and all that stuff. But he'd had some, but we don't know like the history or what had gone on with it. We don't know what type of training he'd had, but we know he'd had some protection work training. And then the person who owned him went, I think, to Dubai or something like that
she did.
to go away to work, and the dog got left with the parents, and he is a lovely dog. He's got a really nice,
He's a brilliant.
soft personality.
Yeah.
But he's also high drive, so he's they're not the serious dogs. You can go online and find stuff out there that says a Belgian Malinois is a good family dog, and they're just so high vibration as a dog that it's not really something that you would have as a family pet. It can be done, but
Yeah, but
they're just so drivey. They just got so much adrenaline. They're just so crazy.
They kind of got lucky with Major because they said he settles fine at home.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's just
But he needs the outlet. Yeah. So
he loves his ball.
long story short, he had gone out for a walk with the guy who now owns him, which is the girl's mum and dad. So granddad, if you like, if you want to call it dog your child.
Major's granddad.
Major's granddad, yeah. What a sentence. Major's granddad. So he'd gone out for a walk in a puffer jacket, it's coming, in like a big bubble jacket, down the beach. And I think it was down the beach or on a field. I think it was the beach.
Yeah, it was a beach.
Beach, yeah. And something changed in the dog, and he turned. I think he might have put the ball away or something, and the dog.
No, he didn't have a ball.
Oh, he didn't have a
it.
ball.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this was
That was the
the
problem.
dog decided it wanted to have an outlet, so it started using him like he was wearing a bite suit. So it started targeting this guy, going after him. He didn't know what had happened. He was getting bit from all directions.
It was
He
the
had
coat he was going for. wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, but he didn't understand it initially, so he was getting bit all over. He had all bruises all over him and bites all over him, and then he thought it was the jacket. He sussed it was a jacket quite quick. Took the jacket off and legged it down the beach away from the dog, and the dog's just destroying the coast, just like absolutely obliterating the coast.
But so, like, he had bites on his like side and everything. was the dog just trained to like attack the entire body?
Well, not normally. So they normally
Should just
like.
be the
I
arm,
mean,
shouldn't it?
I do know some of this because my Nipopo background is protection, and a lot of the courses I did online, Michael Ellis, etc., and the Learberg stuff, is a lot of it is protection driven because in the protection sport world, the dogs are such a high standard of like obedience and doing protection work, etc., and tracking. They have in IGP, it's so competitive that you do see some of the finest trained dogs in this sport. So a lot of the sport dog trainers who have won trophies have had to get to such a high standard in their training with their dog that they generically just become some of the best dog trainers in the world. So I have got some knowledge, but it's not really my thing, and it's never really floated my boat protection work. It's never has. I've been and seen it in Missouri over with Bart Ballon and seen them doing stuff there, and it just never really did it for me.
I think as well, like, I don't think he was a very good protection dog. Like, I don't think they went down that avenue either because I don't think he was very good at it.
Right. Okay. So I think normally, like I said, and I'm clearing that up, but I've got knowledge for it, but I'm not trained in protection, but that's why I'm clearing that side of it up. But I think they normally, they go for an arm or a leg, or I think they go for a bicep.
Like they always have, from videos I see, it's always like that arm is like... and
Yeah,
then
the
they
arm's
release.
like the one they go for the most. When I was in Missouri with Bart, he brought a dog in and he said like this dog's bite is deep and really powerful. And he brought this dog in and he got lots of the students to wear like the suit. And he was like, "Who wants to put the suit on?" And I'm
Sam would be a natural.
Yeah,
I'm post COVID, aren't I? I could easily be a subject my time in Missouri. I think we covered that after e-collars. But I was post COVID. I was still like very ropey, and I'd been through some trauma going into the course. So I was like, I just don't want to do anything. I don't want anything that's going to trigger me. I had PTSD, but I will go into that. But anyway, the dog was a bit of a leg biter, and obviously there was a variation of sizes of people there. There was girls there. There was very big lads, lads like maybe my height and size, etc. But there was a good variation of men there, and that dog took every single guy down. Literally floored everybody. Literally got hold of the leg. You ragged them until it got them, and no one could stay on the feet. Just took everybody
head
down.
protection?
What's that?
Any head protection?
No.
I would stack
And you
it.
stroke the dog when it's doing it.
Huh?
So that's part of it. You stroke the dog.
Oh, rip my arm off.
Yeah, so you literally, as the dog is biting onto your leg, they literally... So I think the reason why they do this is they start off by stroking the dog, and then I think they go for tactile touch to show the dog that like you're part of it and all that stuff. But then they start progressing that to like where you'd like do little bits of hitting them with a stick and stuff like that. So if they ever did lock onto a terrorist, and they're trying to hit them with something or punch them, the dog just will go through it because they hit them with sticks and stuff, don't they? So
they're just used to it. Like,
yeah,
Miles
they condition them, and that's why
Yeah.
Miles do it so well, because Miles are so like hardy, like just so ruthless.
I was showing him like how high they can jump and just how
Yeah, it's
ridiculous they are. Like they are insane.
So I mean, I don't think that they shouldn't be. I think they should be licensed.
Yeah,
One of
no,
the breeds
100%,
should
like-
be licensed.
So I mean, to continue with the context of that case, so this was what we were dealing with on day one. Kim assisted me on that first case. We did some collar work where we were like, okay, this dog's had e-collar training. Can we get the dog to do things with the e-collar? And the dog just didn't listen to whatever level you went to. It was just literally powering through it and just ignoring everything that we were doing with the collar. So
I don't think he was ignoring. It was more that it was like white noise. Like it wasn't sure what to do, so it just carried on doing what it wanted.
ignoring it, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was.
Like what the communication wasn't clear enough.
No, so we just come back in and retrained some of the e-collar work, and
So what do you suspect happened with him then? So if he's ignoring it at such high levels?
we don't know. It's just maybe I don't know, maybe used incorrectly. But I would never, especially on a podcast, start like criticizing somebody else's work when I haven't actually. And this is something that we we'll talk about is I would never criticize other people's work if I don't even know that person. So somebody could have trained that dog to A1 standard with an e-collar, and then somebody may have come in and just started using it wrong and has made the conditioning process bad. So
I think the biggest thing with the e-collar is, you know, when you go to a professional that knows how to use them, your timing with the buttons are very precise. You know exactly when you're pressing the buttons. But if you don't pass that work over to the owner properly, then that's when it can come conflict.
but again, you can pass it over to the owner perfectly. And I mean, you've seen that when you've been working with me, that we will say, you know, we had the case recently that where we were saying one thing to the client to do it, and then they were just going and trying to set the dog up to fail all the time and doing things. So it doesn't even matter sometimes. You can teach a standard lessons to a client how to do something, but it's about how well they learn or how well they absorb information. This is why, like, Kerry's come in with this beautiful system with us now where she takes the laptop onto our cases and shadows me, but PAs me basically. That's a role that you're doing, really, isn't it? You're training dogs, but you're PAing me a lot on like making all my one-to-ones a really good service. And the one thing I've mentioned this to clients, I'm like, oh, she's great, Kerry. She comes with the laptop, she takes notes, and the client gets the notes of everything I've said so they don't forget what I've said. And people are like, wow, that's a really good idea. Because you come to my house and you said, you know...
It can be like mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
You're sitting there and they're like, what's going on?
Yeah, because in an hour I'm giving them, you know, 20 years of learning at times.
Yeah, and you're like why don't they get this?
Yeah.
I just remember my first ever time when you came over, and there was just so much coming out of his mouth. I was like, wait. I'm like, I understand like the basics of it, but then you just kind of forget that there's so many different moving parts that you just really need clarity on. So like, oh, use a marker. I'm like, what the hell's a marker?
Yeah,
or like
I know.
This. And like,
yeah.
oh, there's so many different things that you just need to nail.
Yeah.
So just kind of simplifying it as much as possible, and then just, I guess, guiding them. I kind of put it in a way where I'm guiding them through it like they're doing it. So like it reads step by step, doesn't it?
Yeah, and also something that you do on the cases, we'll come back to Major in a second, but the something that you also do on cases, which is really good and no one's ever done this, is when I'm talking about something, there'll be a mini pause and Kerry goes, explain that. She'll go, what does that mean then? Because she'll go, that client doesn't know what he's talking about there.
It's like when I
give details on
TV.
Yeah.
When I'm like, this is so fascinating, but I've no idea what's actually coming out your mouth. I'm like, yeah.
300 million years, that's so cool.
I was like, oh, that's the best / worst hour of my life.
Yeah.
I suppose e-collar work as well is just such... Is it a small margin of error? Is it more that when things go wrong, they can go very wrong?
Yeah, and no. It's a funny one that sometimes in certain situations it's hard to mess it up, and then in other situations, if you're getting your timing wrong, but yeah, we'll go into that in a second. But yeah, definitely, Sam. It's you can make small errors that make a massive difference, but then you can make loads of massive errors that probably don't make a massive difference to the dog, but that needs context to it, obviously.
Oh, I have so many questions around
this. We'll jump on that in a second, but to finish off with Major, why it's been a really nice case for you to be around, we ended up teaching the owner how to take control of the dog. So that resulted in where she was fighting him for the ball, she couldn't get him to drop the ball, if she was trying to throw the ball for him, like he was just running around everywhere, and we got it in the end where we were getting her to put the dog into a down, and some of this had been pre-trained, so you know,
it was just making it clearer, wasn't it?
It was making it clearer, yeah, things weren't clear. You could see that she wasn't clear with the dog too, so gratitude to whoever done some pre-training, because some of it was quite tidy. We put the dog into a down. She would get the ball, throw the ball while the dog stayed in the down, wait for him to bring his eyes to her, which sped up in the end, but it was really slow in the beginning. Wait for him because he's like, the ball's over there and I'm vibrating.
It was just like...
So he'd bring his eyes over to her. He'd literally be like this.
Yeah, he's
like,
shaking.
you're going to let me go for the ball? And then I did some of the first reps and got some clarity.
Over.
And I'm like, give him a kissy noise, let him know that you're over there. And she was just going, and he's like, can I go? And she's like, no, the eyes need to come over here. So he'd come over, look at his eyes, and she'd go, okay. And then he could run over and get the ball. And in the end, she was doing it very, very nice. And that is like the foundation of when you've got a dog that ultimately like wants to go after you and use you as, if you like, some type of drivey toy in the middle of a beach and create this horrible scene like he was. You have to then go, right, I've got to step into the world of this dog where I can control this dog's impulses with the drive being high. So I'm not going to say to him, go to place and I'm going to watch TV. That's not good enough for me. He needs to be able to, something that he's massively driven for, which was a ball, massively driven for. We had to quickly, before this dog gets put to sleep, exercise having control in high drive. And that's how you get to the result of him not going after people and not doing this when you're walking on the beach, is to be able to take that control when he's in high drive. And that was our aim. And from that, now we're going on walks. We're now able to send him off as if he starts coming back, trying to get the ball off you and jump at you, and getting him to give us clearance. If the ball's not there, coming to the person's, unless we're getting him in to put his lead on, he's got to keep distance and he's got to go and just meander and explore the world.
Like, for context as well, the couple, they're just a bit older and they've not really... Did they have a dog before? I don't think they did.
I'm not sure.
But it's the daughter's dog. And yeah, she, like you said, she went to Dubai, but mum and dad have them.
Done a lot of previous training with him.
Yeah, but mum and dad
yeah.
didn't really. They took him on, and then that happened as well.
Yeah.
So
They've got good hearts.
They've got great hearts, but like,
they didn't want to see anything happen to him.
It's a hard dog, and they're doing great. They're doing amazing.
They are, yeah.
But you just wouldn't expect like that couple to have a Belgian Malinois. Is like what I'm saying.
Not my favourite. Just the maddest thing was when we had that Malin for rehab. It belonged to the old lady.
Yeah.
And her kids had bought her a Belgian Mal because
she was 78, and they researched online and come up with the conclusion that a Belgian Malinois is a good dog to have as a pet dog.
Nailed it.
Should we see what Google says?
Yeah, do it. Let's get on.
And then Sammy, who's now got her own business, she ended up taking the dog on, didn't she?
Yeah, she got the dog, and
I think
she's competing with him as well.
Dog change because it was just so unsuitable.
Yeah, it took her time and effort, but
does she still have the Mal?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think he's Prince, isn't he? He is Prince, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is it Prince?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you Google it anyway, it says, while Belgian Malinois can be loving and loyal family dogs, their high energy, strong instincts and potential for proactiveness can make them a challenging fit for some families.
Some families.
But it's the loving and loyal part that is likely.
And they are loving and loyal.
Just get a German
protectiveness as well. So I suppose people probably think, if they're protective, it's good for the kids.
Yeah. Which is one of the most annoying things ever, that people think they can just buy a protection breed and it will just naturally protect you.
There is just not enough information, but have you seen that, like, I think it's Switzerland, or they've anyone who wants to buy a dog now has to do classes before they get the dog.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Like, they have to do, like, I think it's like a 2-hour thing, and then I think it's over like a 2-week period before they get a dog, and then most people will probably drop out because it's like, it's too much effort to do this to get a dog.
I think people should be matched as well to a dog.
Yeah.
Like,
they do that as well.
That's what you want a dog for, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the same goes for e-collars. Moving into this subject is, to actually buy an e-collar. I think, for one, I don't even really want to get into because this will be a bloody deep dive, but I don't want to get into the types of e-collars you can get. The amount of times clients have come back to me and gone, oh yeah, that e-collar that you've like said that we should use, it's like £250-300. I found these ones on Amazon for £20. Are these not just as good? They look the same. And I'm like, so this is the collar. It's got Oscar's little tag on it. It's cute.
So because if it ever falls off, right?
So this is,
I get it back with.
This is one example. So. Also, I just want to start this by our subject of e-collars here. I want to start this by saying that this was one of the sort of beginnings of myself and Kim, that I started out by using these, if you like, correctly. But also then I went on sort of like maybe a year, maybe more, of probably using them incorrectly at times as well. So I've had a love-hate relationship with e-collars, and the first time I ever heard about e-collars was from Kim's mum, Corinne, who I love to bits. She's like one of my closest friends and she's my future mother-in-law because we are engaged to be married. We love each other, but also we can fight like cat and dog. Yeah, we do. I love her to bits. But we do. That's how close I am to her. We can proper have rows and everything. Anyway, so I was hired in. That's how Kim's.
My mum meets everyone in endoscopy where she works.
Yeah. So, God, I'll deep as this. We're supposed to be on
e
e-collars, right?
But basically, my mum had.
I was having an endoscopy because I was suffering with reflux and I needed a meprazole.
That's done.
Right. Okay.
My mum had 2 dogs. My dad had died the year before. And then my mum had 2 dogs. She had a lurcher and Biscuit, who was a Lakeland Terrier, who was just like a Satan.
9 months old she was at the time.
Yeah, she was a tit. I love her. She was a tit.
Oh, by my
Still a bit of a tit.
And
a tit puppy.
basically, my mum just wasn't fulfilling them because she didn't know she had to fulfill them and the need she had to fulfill them. We own the pony sanctuary, so we've got lots of horses. We're spending a lot of time down the horses. And we couldn't take the dogs with us because Biscuit would try and eat the horses. I think she actually got hold of one of them. She actually cut one of the back of one of their legs once, I think.
She ripped it open, I can't remember which one it was.
Buddy,
that's it, yeah, Buddy.
And Biscuit is small.
We weren't there when that happened. I found out about it.
Oh, yeah.
She jumped up and
Biscuit,
grabbed out of the back of its leg and ripped it open.
Oh,
Bloody hell.
Biscuit's like...
She literally looks... She's just
a
like
terrorist
dainty.
terror.
She's
Terrier.
She's
She's
Satan.
a dainty terrorist.
Yeah.
We used to call her Satan all the time.
And
Legit.
Rosie at about 17 couches, like legit went through. Well, she didn't go through 17. That's a bit of exaggeration. But we had to buy about 3 couches because she just destroyed.
Could have been
them.
17.
I think the first session you came in, there was about 7 optimal. Is that what they're called? No, that's baby milk.
Tell someone's pregnant. Someone is pregnant in the house.
The plugins for the anxiety.
Oh, what are they called? Look it up, Sam. There you go.
What am I looking at?
Look for pheromone plugin, dog pheromone plugin.
Yeah.
They were pheromone plugins. She had pheromone plugin. She had pheromone cuz.
Yeah.
She had a pheromone butt plug for the dog.
So Auntie come in,
Wait
he's
a
like,
minute.
And then there was toys everywhere.
yeah,
And I was like, right, okay, for starters, this house is like a crash.
yeah.
And there's plugins.
He's
The
like,
dogs are like this, just like,
it's around. She's like, I haven't got any
I
grandkids.
was like, what are all these toys? Just like,
So the first thing he said was like, they need to go out. So
Yeah.
I think you literally took my mum to Royden Park with these 2 dogs
Yeah.
that were just mad. My mum's head fell off. And you were walking them for like every day. And then
yeah, I did, didn't I? I sort of like did a, because the business was brand new. Like Paws In Nature that only just started. We had like 3 clients. You know, it was, I worked for the first couple of years. I think I said this in the last podcast, for free, doing it. And then I just did it paid, sort of ad hoc, just doing clients here and there. I'd go the odd month or 2 without doing any clients and then jump back into it. But then when I formed Paws In Nature, it was kind of like a full-time business. So we only had like a few clients. And your mum was like one of the very, very first clients. So I was just walking them because I knew...
and training them.
Yeah, I knew my time with them was going to help them with recall and leadership and lead control and all that type of stuff.
Massively affected Rosie. Like she never had a couch again after
Mm-hmm.
that. But then after that, the biggest problem is the horses. We couldn't have them on the horses. We had chickens. There was a cat that unfortunately didn't make it.
Hopefully not by Biscuit.
Rosie, I think.
Rosie, I think. Yeah.
Oh my god, I should
It's like a
It was
feral
a feral cat. Yeah. It was that, but we didn't expect it. We didn't expect it to happen, and then it happened. And
I mean, this was a good long while ago.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then my mum started going to game fairs because she realised Biscuit loved running and chasing after things. So she used to do luring with the dogs.
Lure
Yeah,
racing,
Biscuit's a champion.
Yeah,
yeah.
she's like.
They've all won championships.
But I haven't got a single trophy on that fridge in my mum's house, but my mum's got a whole cabinet of dog trophies.
They are her 7
She's got a past 7 dogs now, all into doing luring.
She went away last weekend and come home with like 7 trophies.
Yeah, no, she was showing me all the pictures. It was
champion.
actually really cool. She was like,
on
"Oh,
the
I should go
podcast
down
with
with
trophies.
Oscar."
Get on a podcast of loads of trophies. Just fill the table with
Bring all
trophies.
7 dogs.
Yes,
That would be
and
amazing.
all the trophies.
And let them just sniff the mic.
Yeah.
Blake, have you ever had a dog on the podcast? Nope. No, there you go. So it could be.
Would you allow a dog on the podcast? There you go.
But Blake is the guy who does all the filming, and this is his studio.
This is amazing.
Yeah, this is an amazing studio.
Yeah.
By the way, Blake, we got loads of good feedback about this studio.
Yeah.
Everybody looked at the video and was like, "Oh my god, it's so professional. So love the setup, etc."
Your head's gone a bit like Norman.
Who's the guy, Ryan?
Just like, ooh.
Who's
Norman is the chameleon that they brought together because Kim
just
has
like everywhere.
Kim needs to get a pet every time she's pregnant, which is a really cute
Like
trait.
Normsy. So now I'm going like Norman. Just
everywhere.
yeah. But yeah, so then she went to the game fair, and then
It's supposed to be about e-collars.
no, it is, and then you came with her, and then you were both ended up at this stall that was what was
No,
it,
I
Brian?
didn't. No, that's not how it happened. She come back with an e-collar.
Yeah, but what brand was it?
I don't know. Pack.
Pack.
PAC.
Yeah,
I can't-
and it was
I
this
can't. I was
big,
trying to think of that for ages the
bulky
other day.
thing. And my mum was like, I bought this. And you're like, okay, well, what is it? And she's like, it's an e-collar. He's like, okay. She didn't know what it was. You didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
And then you were like,
She said, "Can you stop my dogs killing the horses?" And I was
not
like,
killing the horses. That's a bit
"Oh,
like,
trying to kill the horses."
Killing cats.
I think they'd come off worse. They tried to kill the horse.
yeah. Well, that's the thing as well. Like, if a horse kicks the dog's dead.
Yeah.
So
He's ripping it
it's
to
for
shreds.
welfare
So.
side. But then the other side is either, well, you could just not take the dogs or horses. And I'm like, well, we're there all the time, and
Well, yeah, it's
we
the,
want them to coexist.
They now roam free around
Like,
the horses. So.
you have to be at the sanctuary all the time anyway. You have to find a way to make it work.
Yeah. So you did. You were like, all right, well, let's just see if we can do it. And you did. You absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, so we did do that, and there's, like I said, so initially you actually used it right. So there's different ways of using an e-collar. So they're a massively frowned upon tool, and if they're used incorrectly, they're pointless with a dog and can make a dog's problems worse, easily can. But if they're used correctly, they can be an absolutely profound tool that can change your dog's life. So initially we did it, so that there's kind of, like, to give context to what I'm about to say, there's kind of two ways that we will use e-collars. One is what you call the harsher way, which is act of God. And this would be only really used in a situation where you want the dog to stop doing something. And we did this with Rosie and Biscuit. What did we do? And what is act of God? Act of God is where you're going to put this collar on a dog. It's going to have it on for... And people don't speak about this enough. So when there's, like, the balance trainer community and they're talking about e-collars, like, they don't always cover this enough, because people then jump on this and go, well, that's cruel, and there's other ways. Trust me when I say this, that we tried other ways of Rosie and Biscuit multiple times to try and stop them. Counter conditioning, we tried doing long line work, we tried to do all sorts of different things to stop them going after the horses, and nothing was working. Nothing can outweigh that prey drive, and this is the argument that they have. And it was very recently famously done where a couple of balance trainers put about £40,000 on the table and said to a force-free trainer, can you, might have even been more money than that, we will give you that money if you can stop this high drive, prey drive dog going for sheep, not without using an aversive tool. Okay, so this is how it's done. So if we're using, and this isn't
Wait,
disclaimer.
I'm curious about how that went. Could they
I
do
don't
it?
think I
No one come forward.
No
No
one
one
had
come
the
forward.
money, didn't
They had the money, yeah. No one come forward. No one took them up on it, because they're not going to be able to do it. And that was the argument for this. And they tried to ban them. And I think there was something that went on where, like, they tried to ban them at one point, and then one of the people around the table of Parliament, I'm just making this up, but it was something like this, because one of our pack walk guys who comes all the time, Phil, he told me about it. He was getting newsletters and new people in the know. And he said that there was a person in Parliament who was using e-collars with his dog, and he's like, no, we can't ban the e-collar. Sorry, we can't. Something like that, or the petition worked or something. Anyway, act of God. So you put an e-collar on a dog, it wears it for, a set amount of time, maybe a week. So it just becomes a normal collar. You put them in, like, maybe a field. We will do this with dogs when they come to our sanctuary, and we'll use horses for it if the dog's got the prey drive towards horses, which they generally do if it's sheep as well. And then we'll have to go out and do it with sheep also. And we will put the collar on the dog. Dog's just wearing the collar as per normal. If the dog goes after the horse or the sheep, we go to a high level stimulus on this, and we press the button as they go after it. And then if they come back and go for it a second time, so a lot of dogs in that situation, they'll shake it off and then they'll go, oh, where did that come from? And you don't pair it with any type of a command or punishment mark or anything. You just hammer the dog with it and you want it to be high. You want it. People say all the time when you're doing this, it's not going to hurt the dog, is it? You actually want it to hurt the dog. You don't want the dog to have any value in going after. It's got to outweigh prey drive.
But again, this is like a last resort.
Yes, this is. I'm going in at the deep end on e-collars here. Okay, because I'm gonna also talk about the whole other side, which is there's two main ways that we'd use it. Second time the dog goes after the sheep, like don't forget that the alternative to this is
like what's it called, like people like bolting at, like dogs that just bolt at people, and like you just don't want them to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like preventing aggression. Like you need to be extreme. That's why.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do this with people. So this is going to be done with livestock. Okay, so just to be clear on that, this is livestock.
This is the same kind of principles with electric horse fence with horses.
Exactly. Yeah. So the dog goes again. But what are you trying to actually achieve here? You're trying to achieve that a dog knows that it can be free and off lead, because we're effectively just wanting to have an off lead dog that can go and run and have fun. We don't want to keep it on it. We don't have this, I don't know, like say bull lurcher or Springer Spaniel or something. We just got to keep on the lead all the time. It's not good for that high energy breed, right? So they go after a second time. You do the same thing again, and the dog goes, "Oh my God, where did that come from? That wasn't a nice sensation." You hold the button down until you stop running at it, right? Disclaimer, I'm not trying to teach people how to do this, and I don't want people to listen to this podcast and think they can go and do it, because you definitely need the professionals to do this.
Collar without consulting a professional and working with them.
And don't just go out and do this, because it does need there's rules that we put in place, but this is the overview of what we're doing. So what the dog will generally do on the second time is they'll go, "Is me chasing after that sheep making this happen? Is this what's happening?" And some of them will, after two, will be done. I get it. I'm not going after the sheep. And you may have to give them a reminder, go back up and down the field or something, give them a reminder, and they try again. You just go, "No, this is what happens," without saying anything. You want the remote just completely out the way. Anyway, some dogs will try a third time to go, I wonder if it's actually coming from the horse or the sheep. I wonder. The clever ones will go, "Let me just see." And then they do, and it gets them to go, okay, the horse is Gandalf. And they think that the horse is making it happen. Okay. Like a superstitious association. You're like, that's the point now when they go, okay, if I go near that animal, this happens to me. And we've had dogs come in, and we've had owners walk onto our yard and be in tears because I'm walking up with their dog. And their dog is just walking around horses, and they're like, "Oh my God!" Like literally drop to their knees in tears.
Well, Biscuit, who
with happiness,
made a horse
lead,
will now go in a field with horses,
walking under their legs.
Rosie has been asleep in a field with horses whilst the horses come over and sniffed her.
We've actually put Biscuit on the back of a horse, and we've got photographic evidence to show that. So
they're on there every day now.
And when we did this with your mum's dogs, Current, we actually did it like that. I just went high on the numbers.
Yeah.
Well, I think I probably tried on a low number to start, and they just didn't listen. So I just went high on the numbers. I was like, no, they need to listen. And it was taking a bit of a risk. I was doing it, untrained, but it absolutely worked.
But since then, like you said, you've had an up and down relationship, and you've done a lot of research and
I'm qualified I've done courses with Leerberg, and I'm actually qualified under the NEPOPO as a e-collar trainer. So I was criticised a little bit online for my usage of them, and probably rightly so, and I own that, and it's one thing that I will always do is I will never go, "Oh, I'm right and you're wrong, don't tell me what to do with that." I'm not arrogant, and I'm open-minded, and I went away and learnt better ways to use the tool that I'd fell out with and was being criticised for, and come back a lot more skilled with it, because I feel like that's what you should do is, if people have got something to say and it's valid, which I believe some of it was, then
always transparent as well. Though.
Yeah, you've got to come back and be stronger at it. However, let's just jump on to...
I was going to say there's a reason they're still in circulation as well.
Yes, yeah.
They're not banned if used... But when used correctly, they are amazing.
Yes. Apparently, so these are the statistics. There's never been an RSPCA report of e-collar use. There's not a single one on record. So, you know, when you'll get, like, say, this guy's been kicking his dog, the RSPCA go out and see him, etc. There's never been an RSPCA...
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. So that's kind of like the harsh way, and you can use that act of God for other...
That's extreme.
That's extreme. Like, some people will use it for, like, if the dog's digging their garden, it can be the same thing. They can just use it. It's various ways of using an e-collar and an act of God, and you don't have to think that it's anything to do with training. You just want to think the dog's action is creating this sensation. Going after the horse, digging the garden, whatever it's doing. Okay. Running into a road, you want it to like, we recently had it where a dog was running out the park to go over to our house to see if they had chicken, because they put chicken out for the foxes. And we created a barrier, an act of God barrier around the gate.
And the dog would run across the busiest road, so it would have eventually got killed if
on
we
a
didn't do
Saturday and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
it was awful.
you now won't go near the gate, which is great.
Yeah, and that took 2 tries.
So I suppose that's the argument as well. It's like, even if you do look at it, the dog gets hurt and you are against the dog getting hurt, would you rather the dog have a little thing on its neck or get run over by a car?
Yeah, and that is the strong argument, to be fair. It's either that or death, but or a farmer shooting them, because a farmer will just shoot the dog. If
it's like ripping a horse up.
Or a sheep. They
Sheep's the biggest one, isn't it? Because they only have to chase them to make the sheep miscarry.
Yeah, and then they can shoot them. They have the legal right to shoot them with a shotgun.
Yeah.
A farmer. Just kill a dog.
And I suppose that's the side that you don't see when people are discussing e-collars. You hear only the negatives. You don't hear about the alternative actions, which is just the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I think sometimes as well, I think people are like... you've got trainers out there that will actively, like, very strongly stand by the e-collar and will defend it. But I think
Like
there's
a
like a lot
hybrid
of
approach.
medium that are a bit like, I'd rather just stay out of that argument, although that they believe that it's the right thing. And the against is so against, like,
Because
that community is just
what
crazy.
I've noticed is they're not, like, educated on it. They think it's, like, electrifying the dog. Like, they think it's, like, a proper, like...
Well, if you
electricity
Google it,
shock.
the first thing that comes up is the kennel club saying they're electric shock collars.
Yeah, that's how you know they're against them, when they call them shock collars.
Yeah.
And the reality is, like, that one especially, it has, like, the vibration mode. It has all the different types of
It's a stimulus. It's a
Yeah.
muscle stimulus, and you'll see, like, if I did a TikTok recently.
Definitely not a shock at
No,
all.
I mean we'll demonstrate it now on camera. Just make sure that they can. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to demonstrate it. I'll do it on my hand. So I'll demonstrate it on my hand.
Put it on your neck
So
again.
turn this on. No, so you
Kim,
can see.
take the remote.
You can actually see it on my. So this is on my hand here. Let me just put it into, because this has got comfort wings. This is a modified one. They normally come with 2 little. Can we see these on camera? Can you get these on camera, Blake?
I'll only close up a bit.
Yeah, you don't have to You don't have to go close up, to be fair. Just
unclip it.
so you can see that they normally just have 2 little contact points here. But we've put what you call comfort pads, which have got a little bit of flex in them, and they go through the fur better. The dog has got sometimes long fur because he's needs to be groomed. He's got short fur at the minute. Anyway, so it's got them on it, and then it's got a bungee. This is a bungee part, so you actually find the right size for your dog, and then you clip it there, and then the bungee allows for some flex in it. Anyway, let me start using it on me. Okay, so these wings are quite big on my hand, so if I put it onto my hand there, and then I press a button there, let me just see there, let me get it to the right position. So I'm actually starting on 26, which, like, we're gonna...
It goes to 100, though.
It goes to 100, but we're gonna get to like the how we use it in another way, which is completely the opposite to what we've just said. But I am using it there on 21, and 21 is actually very high for how we would be using it for obedience. I'm up to 31, I'm up to 39, I'm up to 42, 50.
How would you describe what it feels like?
It feels like a tens machine, and it feels like 57 I'm up to there, 60, and you'll see that my thumb's starting to move a little bit every time I press it, my thumb. So it's a muscle stimulus. That's I'm up to 60. Yeah, there you go. I'm up to
like
70 now, and my
tenses the
thumb's
muscle,
moving
doesn't it?
now. See it?
Yeah.
So it's a muscle stimulus, so it makes the muscle move involuntarily. However, right? The other side to using e-collars, which is dead important, is we use them for obedience, right? So what we're going to do with the obedience is we're going to teach a dog to be quick, fast, and accurate in obedience and reflexively responsive in obedience. Because
like recall and stuff like that.
For the likes of recall and any type of obedience, and a lot of dogs that you see that are super sharp in obedience, they may have had e-collar training like previously, but that doesn't mean you can get this done with just purely positive training. But I always say to people that if you've got two people training the same dog, two clones of a dog, right? And let's say even Kerry, I train Kerry how to do it, or Kim or Sam how to do it. And they used an e-collar with training, and I didn't use an e-collar, and we went into competition. The one that was trained on the e-collar would easily win.
You said that there was like a stat for hours.
Yeah, I'm going to do that in justice, but
Something like 200.
yeah, it's something like I'm going to get this wrong, but it's something like there's like 6,000. It takes, with doing it with purely positive methods to train a dog to do something, will take something like 6,000 reps without negative reinforcement. With negative reinforcement, it takes like 600 reps. Negative reinforcement meaning that you're applying pressure or something. I'm doing it in justice. Like, if anybody wants to comment on this podcast, if it goes onto YouTube or Spotify, or we could even put this on our TikTok or something, I would actually be interested, because some of them know, especially my knee paper circle. It was in knee paper, well, then now. Anyway, so when we're using this for obedience, we're actually going to teach the dog how to do commands with the e-collar, basically. How we do that is we use a thing called escape avoidance. And what does that mean? Escape means that we're going to first of all teach the dog how to escape the sensation of an e-collar, right? And how do we do that? We get the e-collar and we get the dog to find a level that it feels it, but it just about feels it. I want it to almost be like this, where I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on the dog, so the dog goes, actually, I want to get rid of that pressure. Like a dog that puts a puppy that has a collar on for the first time and it won't switch the collar
like,
off.
what is that?
They're like this, itching.
Yeah.
It keeps stopping and itching all the time.
Yeah.
Very similar. So it's a mild irritant that the dog wants to get used to. So you're looking to find a level that becomes a mild irritant. Then you're going to go into what they call escape training. And escape training is where you put the mild irritant on the dog, and you can see where the button is. So the mild irritant goes on the dog, and the dog goes, this is a bit uncomfortable. Like, it's not hurting me. It's uncomfortable. What do we do to make it go away? And then you coax the dog over to you and release the button.
What levels do you usually see?
Like, God, we're going to be anything between like 1 with some dogs and maybe 6, 7.
And on your hand, you can't even feel that.
No, we can't feel that. That goes up to good questions, Kerry, as always. About 12, I can start to feel it. 12 is
I feel it on 15.
Yeah. Some people are like, oh, I can't feel that still, and they're like on 25, and I'm like, have you ever like bombed? And
so is it almost just to basically divert, especially in cases where like they might be focused on something else? It's just a little something to divert their attention onto you?
No, so all you're doing in this instance when you're doing this is you're just teaching the dog how to make the pressure go away.
We're making them understand the language of the e-collar.
Initially, you're saying to them, this mild irritant can go away if you come to me. And you do that multiple times, and it can be coming to you on recall. It can be, and you're not using any recall or anything, you're literally just getting the dog to come back. So no commands are used at this point. You can do it where you teach commands where you go, button goes on, and they go, what do we do with this? What do we do with this? And then you say to them, place, and then you go to place, and then you remove it like that. Okay. That's also another way of doing it, but it's still, you're teaching them how to escape it. So the pressure goes on. You tell them what to do with it because they've been pre-trained with positive reinforcement, how to do place. This is one example. So they go, button goes on, he goes, what do we do with this? And you go, place. The dog goes over, you take the button off. And then they start to learn then. They start to learn that. Then what happens is you do like, say, 20 reps and you go, button, and the dog just goes over to place. Yeah. Before you even say the word. Okay, before you even say it. You've then therefore got a dog that understands how to escape the pressure of the e-collar. And that's what you call the escape phase of training.
And it's like similar to when you teach them how to walk on lead, the pressure, isn't it? So like escape the pressure. Like if you do that, you turn off the pressure this way by walking next to me.
Yeah. Not as much. It's way lighter.
Yeah, no, that's way lighter than a lead.
Yeah. But yeah, it's similar situation as we can do that whole system where, like, a quick overview of the system would be teach it with positive reinforcement, teach it with lead pressure, then teach it with e-collar and lead pressure, and then teach it with e-collar on its
You
own.
want the dog to know. So if you were teaching like place, or you'd want the dog to know place before you put the e-collar.
Yeah, so you want them to know the obedience command, or sit, for instance, and you just go button. The dog goes, what's that? Sit. Dog sits. Button comes off.
Yeah.
Once the dog is just doing it with the button, I then go to potentially doing it at the same time, but I sometimes skip that bit and I will then go to command and then button. So you would then go place, button, a second later. Place, this is now avoidance training, right? Place, button a second later. And I make it religious. Place, button a second later. Place, button a second later. And what you're looking for the dog to do is beat the button. And when the dog starts beating the button, then I almost get a scoring system in place, and I go, right, okay, how many times do I press this? How many times you get it where you don't have to have it pressed? If the button doesn't have to be pressed, it's 1-0 to you. If I press the button, it's 1-0 to me. And I want the dog to batter me. I want them to be successful. And I celebrate the hell out of it. And just bear in mind that every time they come to you or go to a place or anything, there's food involved. There's positive reinforcement. You're making the dog... It's enjoyable exercise, yeah, and you've always got to balance the scales on this, where this is such typical Nipopo. What I'm about to say is, and these are the words of Bart Bellin, master trainer, master coach for myself, amazing guy in the training industry, and I'm grateful that he's in it, and I got to spend time with him, having breakfast and lunch with him and training with him over in Missouri. This is Bart's words, that there's struggle and there's hope. And the struggle is like the pressure of the collar, and the hope is that they're going to be getting the food. And the food that they get. And you've always got to make sure that the hope is high and the struggle is low. So I want these numbers on this collar to be really low and really mild for the dog, and the reward to be really high. And what you end up with is a dog that does things of heart and soul. That's Nipopo again. Heart and soul, on cue, all the time.
Like a great example is Bruce with his reflexive recall.
Yeah, my American Bulldog has been e-collar trained to do recall, and he just reflexively... I sent you a video this morning, didn't have any food on me or anything, he got miles ahead of me, and I went, Bruce, come, and he just instantly comes back to me.
And obviously...
with heart and soul, wagging tail, smiley face.
And he's got... Obviously, the goal is that you want to get rid of the e-collar. It doesn't stay on them.
Yes, you want to get off it. So that's what happens is, if you do so many reps, the behavior becomes classically conditioned. And when it becomes classically conditioned, that means that it happens without any thought. So the dog just instantaneously does that behavior. And that's where you want to get to, so you don't have to use the e-collar. And that's how they train them with an e-collar, and then go into competitions without an e-collar on them, and everything's absolutely perfect. And if you think about this, and I'm going to be using this very, very mild irritant that we can't even feel on our hands, to get the dog to do something that comes with high reward, that's always kept in the zone of being really high. How is that even cruel? That's an amazing way to train a dog.
It would be calling the lead cruel then, like, yes. Literally, because you can't feel it. It's like when a fly lands on you, and that's the kind of feeling they have. They're like, oh my god, what is that? Like, get that off me.
It's a beautiful way to train a dog.
Yeah, when the very first stages, like, the dog is literally just like,
If
what is this?
Yeah, they don't, like, they just kind of like look around even, like, or their ear just
the very
twitches.
very subtle signs.
Yeah, like, I don't even notice it. You're like, oh, he's definitely feeling that. I'm like, okay, what are you seeing?
Yeah. And people, I go on cases all the time where people go, oh, I'm e-collars. They just come out with it for some reason, and they've got like an 8-week-old puppy that we're never putting an e-collar near anyway. They're going to be like 6 months on before we start introducing pressure. To give context to that, in the first 6 months of a dog's life is a critical learning period, and I think you're better to do everything with pretty much positive reinforcement, but bits of pressure throughout them first 6 months are okay.
And not every dog needs, like, needs
to
one
be trained of
every
No, yeah.
The most one really is for like solid recall, for like dogs that just
leg it.
That's the time we use it.
They're like, the owners have recall 90% of the time, the 10% it's not there. So that's when you go, right, okay, let's introduce something. I mean, Zola's a prime example of that. Like Zola literally goes on every single walk now. Like a dog come hounding over to her, which would normally be a massive trigger, and it's like, Zola, come, and she doesn't. It's just reflexively turn around, come back.
She's been feet away. So Zola is a German Shepherd who's owned by a lady who's a retired detective from the police. Extremely committed client, like nothing I've ever seen. She basically comes with a bag with all of the same equipment
knew
that
you'd say that.
I use. Everything, the same long line, the same colour, the same treat pouch, everything. She's so committed, and we are grateful for people like that. But Zola was attacking little dogs if they come near a ball or anything like that, and was getting into a lot of conflict. And I think like the golden moment for her with Zola, because she like messaged us straight away, was Zola was running at a dog and she got feet away from the dog, and she went, Zola, come, and Zola just turned away and just come away from the dog instantly.
I think she threw the ball and Zola went to get the ball, and then a dog came across the field with no recall.
That's it.
And they're like,
this is the version.
Sushi, come back. Sushi.
Sushi.
She's like, Zola, come, and she just like literally turned around and come straight back, and she was like literally a cry moment.
Yeah.
Because that could have been the end of the world for Zola.
And you're giving dogs freedom that would never have freedom otherwise.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next. Like, do you think it's possible to get like 100% recall with just positive only?
Yeah.
Like if they're
with the right dog.
But
with the right dog.
Yeah, with the right dog. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah.
What about Zola?
Do you just need lower drive? Zola. No.
Yeah, but so a high prey drive.
High prey drive, no.
Yeah.
No, that's what they put forward.
And I suppose as well, does it even having the e-collar mean that you can go into those sort of scenarios where there is an added layer of risk in the knowledge that if you can't get back on positive only, you have got the e-collar to serve as like a backup option.
Yeah, and some people they have the dog on the e-collar for life, and that's okay if they want to do that.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Like they don't
security blanket, and they don't necessarily.
Yeah,
use
they
it.
don't use
moment.
it. It's just peace of mind.
It's just there if you ever need to, like
It's like people put muzzle on the dogs because it gives them peace of mind, even though the dog's never actually done anything.
And it's touching on a crazy area, this, but there is also an argument that like when the dog isn't coming back, you do need to go up on the levels, and you do need to be a bit more aversive. And there was
you're training the dog, aren't you, from the very beginning to understand what that pressure means.
That's where the argument comes from, though, is when you go to the aversive levels, do they understand what the aversive levels are? And following and understanding some of the stuff I've learned from Ivan Balabanov, I'm unsure whether they do understand when you have to go aversive. Sometimes you just scold them and then recalling them back. So that's a whole different podcast. Ivan Balabanov should come on our podcast and talk about that. I'm flying him in. Ivan is one of the geniuses of the industry. He's a sport trainer, and he's been rated the greatest dog trainer in the world, in the sport world. He's got like the championship of the best dog trainer in the world 2018 or whatever when he's got it. He's a very, very clever guy in this industry. He is. I kind of take the lead on most of the things he says, to be fair. He does actually pet dogs, so he's not in our industry, but he is semi in our industry. But yeah, he's got a podcast where he brings somebody onto the show and actually confronts them about this whole system of like when you have to go a bit higher, because that's the other argument, and people will probably be thinking that, and it's good that we cover it really when they're listening to this podcast, is like, do you have to go higher if the dog doesn't listen to it? Yeah, and you can prepare them for that. You can make them so that you go a little bit higher, and then you make the distraction a little bit more, and you're going up on the levels, because you play around with the levels a lot. The dog will be recalling on a 7 in our training environment, and then we'll go out onto a walk and I'll have it on like say 14, and people will be like, oh, why have you hide it? And I'll go, because we're like, there's a lot more distractions out here, and they're not going to listen to 7. We need to go a little bit higher with the collar, etc.
We're not in the four walls anymore. We are in just stimulus, squirrel.
And that's what, going back to when I have people on cases who are like, against an e-collar and they've got an 8-week-old puppy, revisiting that conversation, I always make a point of talking to them about it. Always. I can see they're like, and I'm like, have you ever seen an e-collar? And they're like, no, I wouldn't want to see an e-collar. And I'm like, yeah, okay, if you... So you got no experience with them? And they're like, no, but I signed the petition to ban them last week. And I'm like, And I bet your sister who owns a parrot signed the petition to ban them last week. These are the type of people who are signing these petitions. So I make a point and I'm like, I don't care if by the end of this consultation you never use me again, which is rare. But I put myself at risk then. I go, no, I'm actually going to risk this. And I'm going to educate you a little bit on how an e-collar can be used. Now, I'll spend on it, be like, right, I'm going to have to go half an hour over this case because I'm going to spend half an hour actually trying it. And some people just, they won't change, but other people will start to see it a bit differently.
Why did you use the example of an 8-week-old puppy and telling the people?
Because they started talking about it at some point.
Oh, like
they'll go, my old dog wouldn't come back, and we had this trainer and he come out and he said he was going to use an e-collar on our dog and we hate them, and you know, it's, oh my god, I'm never using an e-collar on my dog. So when they touch upon an e-collar, or if it has to come into the conversation, I will defend them. Because I don't think it's, like you said before, it's not done enough. And anybody online or anybody even listening to this that actually wants to be of a bad opinion of them, I say to them, and we've very recently done this, and offered somebody to come onto the podcast and offered them to come and watch me doing a day's training with the dog. I say to them, like, don't judge something you don't really know everything about. Like, I now will put myself out there and say that I'm, you know, quite a skilled person with an e-collar because I've used them that often. And still, I'm
yeah, it's like you don't really, like, it's not the first thing that comes to your mind. Yeah. You go through everything first. You're like, well, the best thing and the quickest way we are going to get results, if we need to, is this way. You give it as an option, but you've got all the tools in your belt.
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, as well, animal lovers, I think people forget that.
Yeah, and the horse thing, what's called horses as prey animals, is like my favourite thing that you've ever said.
Yeah.
And that they use negative reinforcement.
Yeah. I think we said that on Jacob's podcast, the Yorkshire Canine one, is that we have a predator in front of us that, like, you know, is a predatory animal, a dog, and we don't want to use negative reinforcement, which is essentially when you're doing that escape avoidance, it's a negative reinforcement that removing to reinforce behaviour, removing the pressure, which is the negative part. But with a prey a flight animal, what do you prey animal? A prey animal, which is a horse. We use negative reinforcement with doing everything, moving them.
We use a lot of pressure release with horses.
Getting them in a horse box. What else?
The thing is they're big animals, they're big, powerful animals, and you have to. But so's a dog.
Yeah.
And I think people forget that.
Yeah, the dog goes at you like.
Caesar Milan once said it. He said, if everybody treated dogs how they treated horses, the dog would be a different place. Very well said, Caesar.
It's true. Just because they've got those cute eyes doesn't mean that they won't go for you.
We
know.
Or
like when I was listening to the podcast, The Canine Paradigm.
Yeah.
And they were talking about like when people get a staffy and then they think it's all amazing, everything's all good, and then they look at it differently when it kills one of their chickens. And they're like, oh my god, this cute dog, and he's just gone and killed a chicken. Like, I can't look at him the same. He's aggressive. He's horrible. But like that's an animal.
Yeah, I know. Is the ball. Like, oh, my dog just kills the ball all the time and I don't understand it. I'm like, it's trying to extinguish the squeak, which is inside, which is mimicking a dying animal.
People say
that is a
no. That was a reaction. That's a reaction.
Oh my god!
That's it.
Oscar goes mental.
Yeah.
He walks around the house and like so proud with the ball just squeaking. But that's
he's trying to kill that ball.
That makes so much sense.
He's crushing your baby hamster. And you haven't even got a hamster.
He's got no interest at the moment about a squeaker either.
No.
There you go. See, Squeak's gone. Dead.
Yeah, he's got no interest.
First thing you do is kill a squeak. They're so funny. I'm like, do you want to know exactly why your dog's doing this?
He's like, he's successfully killed the ball.
Yeah. How many animals has your dog killed in your?
He's killed loads. We had to keep. We kept buying them every week.
So you were
got a serial killer in your house.
Basically, yeah. Did you know where they get? Do you know them squeaks are inside them toys? They actually come from a tiny animal.
No, they don't.
It's the vocal cords of it's the vocal cords of a tiny squirrel.
You're so horrible.
You're so horrible.
It's been a crocking little.
Yeah.
Podcast. Yeah.
This is cute.
We're gonna have a subject. Blake, how long have we got?
We go for 110, so you got about 15, 20.
Oh, nice.
15, 20.
I was going to say what we've
added
touched
these bits
on good e-collar training, but what does bad e-collar training look like? And what are the dangers of it?
Oh, bad.
Mm.
Let's go for that one. Who we had recently that's had bad e-collar training?
I know.
I know. I won't say the dog because then you know who it is.
Oh, yeah. So,
Big dog.
yeah, I know. So bad e-collar training. So
Oh, there's so many that come in. I
it's
actually don't
it's
know
not
which
even
one.
that so much because dogs can be just blasted for things. They can be blasted into avoiding things, and what that never does is it never underlyingly gets what's going on. So
They don't get it. They don't understand it at all.
Yeah,
They're
so-
being punished.
for instance, this specific dog, we're not going to name any people or dogs because that's not our vibe, right? But this dog had been trained by a dog trainer who was kind of a dog walker and then just become a dog trainer really quickly, a behaviorist very quickly. And he had trained this dog. There you go, we're narrowing it down. It's just say the name. People do this, don't they? Just say the name, and then you go, we'll beep it out.
Yeah.
And then when they do it, I think it's on the canine paradigm. When they blank the name out, do you know what they blank it out with? Fenton. You do. It's so funny. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, the video Fenton.
I don't know what to do.
You know it.
Kings Park. Yeah, get
I'll show you it after.
The dog come in for recall.
come in for training. Halfway through its training, we decided that we probably need to switch to e-collar training because it was going to make the dog sharper and stronger, very aroused, high drive.
It's my favorite dog.
Yeah. So very high drive dog. And when we started to do the escape part of the e-collar training, the dog was hitting the ground like it had been absolutely annihilated with the e-collar.
But he was level 4.
This is like level 4.
Oh, he was responding to it like on level 1 as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, on level 1, he was responding to it like he'd been beaten. So that was evidence to me that I knew he'd been to this other guy for dog training, and this was clear evidence to me that this person had just blasted him with the e-collar, because as soon as he felt any type of sensation and anything remotely similar to this previous feeling, he was just completely like not shutting down, but he was like hitting the deck, just like
Yeah, it come with.
he knew that it come with
was
fire.
Horrible to see.
So that's one way, because what happens there is if that dog doesn't understand, and this has been part of what we've done with the dog and how we've trained him and we've got him good, is he's aroused and he wants to go after other dogs. He wants to go and jump in people's faces and do all these things because he's super excited.
And he's huge as
He's
well.
huge and he's got massive paws and he's
make someone topple over.
yeah, high drive dog, right? So we're not going to breed him because we're going to start narrowing it down, and I don't want that to be the case. But he's a high drive big dog, right? You can put it together yourself. And he
A Jack Russell.
he wants to jump up in people's faces when he sees them on a walk. He wants to just run over and chase after dogs in a very chasey prey way. Like chasing after them, and if they turn around and nip him, he's like, "Oh my god, why have you just nipped me?" Like he's not, he's not.
Pure arousal,
Yeah, it's pure arousal. So when a dog has got high arousal levels and you need to control them, you need to teach impulse control and relinquishment of control as well. You need to do both. You need to get them to relinquish completely. You need to get them to hold their impulses. So we did a lot of placement work. We did a lot of heel work. We did a lot of taking him out, like, you know, and being able to call him off a horse. Yeah. So his impulses were to go after a horse, and we just say to him, leave, and he'd just come away from the horse.
Yeah.
Like, quite easily.
But you spent a lot of time with him before you even got to the stage of e-collar.
Yeah, we did.
A lot of time, but he just wasn't... He was just way too aroused.
He was, yeah. I mean, and he still is aroused, but he's very controlled now. Like, we went out the other day with the other dog that lives with him, that triggers him massively. We walked him on leads, loose lead next to each other. We got to a field. He was wanting to go after dogs because he was with the other dog and he was getting triggered. He was coming off them, click your fingers, coming off them with just one simple command. And then we got him for the final part to go into a down in the middle of a field. And his sister, who arouses him enormously, was also another very aroused breed, super excitable breed who I trained many years ago, to walk around him with the male owner, and he didn't leave the down. And that was like
really impressive for him.
Immense impulse control, and that's some of the end results. However,
what kind of levels did you use on him?
God, we were never going past 10.
Yeah, so really really, because he was quite sensitive, obviously.
Yeah,
So you had
but I
to-
think we did actually go to about 19 at one point for going towards dogs
Yeah.
to make sure because you've got to make sure that you've got to make sure that he's understanding what's happening.
19 feels just is
19 is like
again, you still
tense
really
machine.
can't feel
A
it
mid-level
much
tense
on your
machine.
hand.
Yeah. But we need to make sure we cover this as well. That using an e-collar, if you just get Joe Blogs buying, it's such an important question, this Sam. I'm glad you've asked it because we're covering something that's vital here. If you get Joe Blogs who goes, e-collars, I'm going to use an e-collar on my dog. So they go onto Amazon and they buy a £20 one, right? Teammate, probably £8. You get like a really cheap one.
Here's my affiliate link.
That that is an electric shock.
Yeah.
Then it's a shock collar. It's inconsistent. We bought one and trialed it on one of our dogs that had the misfortune of actually getting what happens, which is they can go from level 1 to 20, and 1 to 19 you don't even feel, and then 20 is like they're being blasted through the sky. So you can get these cheap versions that don't have good software and don't have good technology in them.
Increments, and I feel like here the increments of really
And they misfire as well, so the actual remote to the connection just misfires a little bit. So they're inconsistent, the cheaply made crap. And when you get somebody who is using this,
Usually people who are the ones that buy that, though, they're like, they do just want it for punishment only as well. So like that's aversive.
should we give like a wild example story, right? Okay. Mr. Jones, right? Sorry for all the Mr. Joneses out there. There's a lot of you. I'm so sorry. Anyway, Mr. Jones buys an e-collar off Amazon. It comes in the post, Amazon Prime next day, right? E-collar comes in the post, slams it on his dog. Dog goes, oh, this is a funny thing. This is a weird collar sensation on me, okay? Doesn't put it on tight enough, because one of the things is you've got to make sure that the tight, that's why we have these bungee collars here. So if it goes on tight, it's got a bit of flex in it, okay? And it's not too uncomfortable for the dog. So one of the reasons for
fit
this.
2 fingers in.
Kerry went ahead and got a really, really great tool here. I personally use a Chameleon, which is an e-collar, a knee popo, Martin Systems brand, which is I was given on the schools. It's a very beautiful tool.
If you guys didn't
very
know,
expensive.
he did need popo.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm jealous.
So he fits it to the dog loosely. So what's going to happen there is he's going to be pressing the buttons and the dog's not going to feel it. Then the dog gives a bit of a shake. It gets into a place where it can feel it. And then he said, oh, it didn't work on 9. I'm going to try it on 15. And the dog gets smashed on it. The purpose for Mr. Jones buying this e-collar is because he doesn't want the dog to be barking at the people coming in his house anymore. That's what he's buying it for. So the person comes into the house, he goes, whoa, 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 and he smashes the dog. And the dog goes, right, I'm going to have a Dr. Dolittle moment with you. I'm not just being naughty and barking because that's what you think, Mr. Jones. I'm actually afraid of the people coming in. You actually made me meet far too many people, and I'm a sensitive breed, okay? I met far too many people in the first year of my life, 6 months of my life, and I've developed a fear towards people. And not only is that strange person coming into my house, I'm now getting smashed and not allowed to express myself.
So but wouldn't it be like superstitious association with that as well? Because you probably wouldn't use a marker.
Potentially, but it's just making the fear worse.
Yeah.
Where in fact, what Mr. Jones should have done is got people to build trust of the dog. And this is, the whole, we use e-collars, right? We use e-collars in the right context, but we're not just all about hammering dogs with e-collars, because that's not, we're professionals. That's cruel. So that's an e-collar being used by somebody who just thinks they're doing right by the dog. So the dog stops barking, but the dog goes and sits in his crate and shakes every time somebody comes. So what's happened is you've removed... Suppressing the dog. You've removed the barking and think you've fixed the problem. However, what's actually happened is the dog's fear's been made worse and it's not gone away, and it may then vent it out in some other way. It may just go, okay, it may start biting people on the street.
Yeah.
So there's also an element as well where not e-collars are built equal.
No.
And the tool itself is incredibly important to get a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to really speak to someone that knows a lot about e-collars.
We should name brands, I think. should name the brand. So
Because I do think as well, there is trainers out there as well, like this trainer, that didn't tell the owner they were using it.
yeah,
They used it aversively to do shortcuts because they don't really know how to fix the issue. They've shortcutted it. The dog's gone home. The dog's been like, they're like, oh, this is great. It's great. And then the dog's getting back into a pattern and going, oh, actually, I can do this and nothing happens because they can't back it up because they didn't know it was getting used. And it is a very labyrinth thing that, like, you need to understand the tool, you need to know what you're doing, you need to speak to someone that's massively educated on it.
you really do.
You need to do a proper handover with people. That's so important.
Yeah, you need to train them.
Yeah.
And also, like,
Make them aware.
don't be a sheep and just form your own opinion from actual gaining knowledge, not just because Sandra on Facebook
And
just
Karen,
want-
Karen was saying it too.
wants to get like 70,000 signatures.
Because
Yeah.
the Amazon e-collar was like that, or they just heard something, so therefore that's in my mind now. Just like literally come here, try this on your hand or try this on your neck.
Yeah, well, for instance, we don't use prong collars because of the stigma behind them more than anything. But like, there's loads of
Service dogs use prong collars.
yeah. Well, they don't cause trachea damage. It's one of the only actual collars you can put on a dog that doesn't cause damage here because of the way
It's
they're built.
doing that, isn't it?
Yeah, and they just do it's an applied pressure around the dog's neck, and we've chose not to use them. If a dog comes pre-trained with it, we will use it then. But we don't actually introduce it as a tool to the dog. We believe in using a bit more skill and a bit more technique. And I do feel, I hate to say this and put my neck on the line in saying this, but I do feel that sometimes, well, I'm not putting my neck on the line because I'm going to say this. I think skilled people use them, very skilled people use them, but I also think trainers who aren't that skilled use them because it's an easier route. And I totally get the fact that if that gets the dog under control better than anything.
Yeah, but sometimes it is just a lazy route.
Yeah,
I feel I've only been with you guys for a month, but I feel like there's no need for it at the moment.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
Exactly. I feel our technique and skill, and we've got so many things that we bring into lead control.
Yeah.
That I don't feel it's needed. I want to just for a second. I want to name the brands that we promote and use. Number one that we promote is a chameleon, but they're very expensive.
Yeah, and what sort of price point?
Yeah, the chameleons are about 800 quid upwards for Martin Systems. Have maybe a look. I'm not too sure because I know I get a different price band because I'm a gold graduate.
If you didn't know.
Right down. Oh, don't. No, you shouldn't, because we did an EPOPO seminar and like they all were taking the piss out of me because you're going. And yeah, but he took the piss out of me because like Andy's a gold, and every conversation was like, do you know?
Yeah, so a
gold?
chameleon's like 800 quid.
oh,
Yeah.
you nailed it.
Yeah. So yeah,
You spelled it
and they're very
with a
good.
K.
They're very, very, very good. Very, very good tools. Very good.
That one.
This is e-collar technologies called the Pro Educator. This is the professional one.
Yeah.
We
And
generally
Also, if you didn't know, Andy wrote the finger clicker manual for e-collar technologies, which is really
yeah.
cool.
So for these are the biggest company, and I did the training manual for they brought out a clicker. What's that?
Just on YouTube.
Yeah, it's don't watch that one.
It's so cool. You should really talk about that more. Like,
No,
the fact
no.
that you, like, that is a huge company.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
Your
so.
friend help you write that as well.
Yeah. So I did the instruction manual, a trainer manual for e-collar technologies. The other brand that we don't,
And that's about 250 quid.
that's about
Yeah.
200, 300. Yeah, that's a Pro Educator, but the one that we recommend to owners
That's
is
300.
a Mini Educator. It's got less
Nice.
buttons. It's easier to handle.
User friendly.
Yeah, it's more user friendly. It's more owner friendly. And
I
the
wish
other,
I got that one.
the other company that we there's another one called Big Leash S15 was the one
Use them, do you?
I used to use, but don't use them so much anymore. But they were quite good because they had like radio connections, so you know how far away the dog was. And then, but the main three companies are Martin Systems, which is a chameleon, e-collar technologies, which this is the one that we use the most, and then one that we hardly ever use because I don't know what I'm buying online, basically. But they're also a very good tool is Dogtra. They're used by a lot of sport people, dog tray. But I like these.
And a dog tray as well is about 300 quid. So
Yeah,
it is an expensive tool.
It is an
I'd say
expensive
that
tool.
the most common one that I see, like if I'm on TikTok or anything, I type in e-collar. That
Mini
is
educator.
always that one. Comes
That
up.
one or the mini educator.
The mini educator, but it's always e-collar technologies. Like I said,
Yeah.
I've never seen the other one,
Yeah.
any other ones really.
Yeah, the guy who owns it, Greg, is a wonderful fella. He's he's invented something like 30 or 40 things. I don't know. You'd be able to look him up, but he's actually down as an inventor, Greg Van Curen. He's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah, I feel like the research set up last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
He's an
Speaking of
inventor.
research, did you find out what it was called? The pheromone thing?
Adaptil.
Adaptil, that's it.
Adaptamil?
Adaptamil.
Adaptamil.
That's just a plug-in thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Actimel. Oh, no, it's not Adaptil.
Like
So-
the Febreze plugins, but for dogs.
Yeah.
So, round up, shall we? So,
E-collars, if you need them, call Andy.
yeah.
Professional.
Paws In
Don't
Nature.
Buy one if you don't know how to use it.
No.
Seek
Don't believe
advice from a
everything you
professional.
read online.
Do
Yeah.
research. Actually use one on yourself before you use one on your dog.
I've
We-
got
we-
one you can borrow to use.
We recently had a client, didn't we, that was coming to us and paying for one of our programs, and a dog was coming in for a month that had no recall, and they backed out of it.
Yeah.
Because of what
because of what they'd seen online, and we rarely have that happen. I sent some voice notes, and they actually still wanted us to train the dog without an e-collar, which is fine, we can do that. But
However, this dog would do the same thing where it would bolt across the road.
yeah,
as well.
I strongly feel that like that dog will never completely get there without an e-collar. And that was quite sad that, like, you know, they've been influenced by that. And I actually said that in the voice note to the owners. I said, you know, it's a mild insult to me, this really, that you would like go online and take whatever the agenda people online are saying over my, like, you know,
Balanced argument. You have a very balanced view.
over 8 years of
all those-
training with them.
All those cases
Actually,
is
10 years
just
of
not
training.
how you use it. Like that's not your technique.
And you're also not it. There's a big
You're-
differentiation between an e-collar and an e-collar.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and being extremely aversive only happens if the dog is like in a dangerous position.
Yeah.
You're using it as more of a communication tool.
If the dog, that's the two ways are active guard or using it for communication obedience. That's my way of putting it. And when it's active guard, it's generally when the dog's life is at risk. That's why I said some people will use it for them digging up their garden. That's not going to put the dog's life at risk, per se. They do it for counter surfing sometimes too, and that can put the dog's life at risk if it steals something that could kill it. Counter surfing is stealing stuff off of the sideboard, but digging up the garden, no. But I'm not against that. You know, if you never want to. Active guard training is.
Do you only meant to do once, twice, or 3 times? If you're doing it, having to do it continuously.
And only a couple of times in the dog's life.
Yeah.
Like if active guard training will only really happen once in a dog's life or twice maybe for 2 different separate things.
Rosie and Biscuit, how long ago was that? Like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was initially like 3 goes.
And
It didn't
because
take much
Biscuit has
more than
really
that.
high drive, like so.
So my mum has also used it like because they go off lead everywhere. She's actually used it as the other one she had was like a locator. Was it the Pro? It tells you.
Yeah,
how
to
far
save the dog's
it was.
life. Yeah. It was the Big Leash S15. That was
And also stopped her from very nearly going into a badger set, which would have killed her. We didn't know there was a badger set on the far end of the field until she was like this close to going inside. And Mum was like, "My biscuit, come!" And she was like, "Again."
We trained her to bisque, haven't we? We go bisque, and she just turns on the 6 months
Yeah,
and comes
she
back to
doesn't
you.
wear collar now.
No, she doesn't wear a collar. No, it's a great story.
And then just like the long term goals are more freedom, allowing the dog to be a dog but be safe, and just having that peace of mind. Or you can keep a dog on lead for its entire life.
But
and
also,
it never gets to be a dog.
My mum's Rosie on a lead seeing a cat has. I mean, do you remember Lydia went to pick her up from outside my mum's once, but Rosie seen a cat and literally Lydia was just skidded across the floor on her knees because of the sight of the cat, and we fixed that. Because, like again, you say, well, they'll be like, we'll just keep John on lead then. Well, sometimes should we just leave her in the house? Just let her go in the garden because
Yeah.
And she can rip more couches up and eat more couches.
Yeah.
and have more optimals.
That was a story, wasn't it? Your mum, she'd eaten three
Like the-
couches or something, wasn't it? And she finished paying on finance for the third couch, and 2 days after, the dog had the couch.
Well,
Yeah. And then that's when they met me.
what we're looking for as well is just like how the advantages outweigh just that discomfort by
It's a couple of seconds.
cost benefit analysis.
It's
economics.
it's a couple of seconds. It's like a couple of seconds. You hold the pressure on until they stop, and if it's high enough, they'll stop quicker.
Yeah, like
Always.
And they shake it off and go back like
Yeah,
within
they
20 seconds.
Yeah.
In conclusion, you're not hurting your dog, you're giving it a better life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've done right.
If used correctly.
Conclusion: you are hurting your dog temporarily to give her a better life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our
But not when
biggest
you're doing
thing
obedience.
in this industry
Yeah.
and every day. It is absolutely loving it when dog owners are getting results that they thought they would never see in their dogs, and their dogs end up living happy, fulfilled lives that they couldn't get given before.
Yeah.
And like literally, it makes you like it never gets old, that feeling.
No, it doesn't.
And that's what we're all here for. We're all here to give owners and dogs that freedom and that life.
10 years on, I still get excited like it's Christmas Eve. Like when I'm getting
And
results
that's
of a
how
dog.
you know that you're doing it for the right reasons.
And that's
You're
how you
doing
know
it
you're
for
in
the
a job
dog,
that
you're
you
doing it
love.
for the people.
And the dog has the best relationship with you as well, which
Yeah.
is another thing. It's always funny. Owners always say like, "Oh, he's always so happy to see you compared to me," and you're the one using this, like for the people who think they're horrific tool. Well, why does the dog love him so much then?
Yeah.
Because you're
Because it's
giving
black
it,
and white.
yeah, you're giving it freedom, all the things that they just never had before. Yes, they had a aversive moment with maybe because their life was in danger, but they get to now live their life. They get to the owners get to enjoy their dog as a dog. Like it's just, I mean, there's a reason why I got this. Well, I need to still learn how to use it. I'm not properly there yet, but you're helping me.
Yeah.
But just the brief time I've had it and what you've used it for to help me has made a humongous difference to my life.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, beforehand, I had that same kind of thought where I'm like, oh my God, isn't
Me
that
too.
ruining my dog?
Yeah, me
Like, I
too.
don't wanna-
When Corin turned up with it, I was like, what? A shot collar? Oh my God. I was calling it a shot
and
collar.
that was me 3 months ago.
Seen Caesar use it for stopping a dog going after a tractor, and he'd use that act of God way. He'd done the same way, but so it kind of was a bit like, okay, all right, yeah.
It's life
Use it the same
changing,
way, but with a horse.
completely life changing.
We need to round up because we're getting past time here.
Yeah.
So great to have Kim.
Hello.
You've been the dynamic is really, really
Having
good.
the elephant in the room has helped.
Yeah. See, we're gonna call her Baby Faith. Just putting that on the podcast now. She'll watch it one day. She'll watch it one day. Faith will watch it one day. Yeah. We can't decide on a name. That's the whole joke. But thank you for.
We'll call her Faith Be Along.
Thanks. Thank you for coming, Kim. Hopefully you're on every other one as well. And thank you for again, Kerry and Sam, for
remember our nicknames.
for making this happen. Yeah, you're Kinky Kim.
Yeah, he'll remember that.
Am I? I'm never forgetting that.
Look at the smile on his face.
ADHD Andy.
Yeah,
What were you?
kinkers.
King. Why'd you get the cool one?
I'm just sick. I'm just
Super Sam, wasn't it? The Super Sam.
Super Sam.
You get cool names and we get you get a cool one. Kinky. Why am I ADHD Andy? Come on.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
Ad
so
hoc Andy.
yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah. Thanks everybody. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. That's how Jerry Sprinky's to end. There you go.